the worst of our nightmares. It's an Azumarill. This is what I was talking about. And the opponent has a shield advantage. How could we possibly win this? We literally cannot win, so. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP. And if you're a returning subscriber like Brandbeer Singh, thank you for the support. In today's video, we're taking a look at some more battles in the Halloween Cup. The very long, painful grind to Legend Rank continues in today's video, and we are featuring two sets of battles in which I decided to just pick a team, start recording, see how those battles went. So these battles, actually, I felt we played pretty damn good in them, but I believe we actually went negative in these sets overall. So definitely a lot of things to analyze in this video. We'll be taking a look at some things we did well, some things we did poorly that we can improve upon. And I think a video like this is very good just for learning as an observer or for entertainment purposes. Watch me lose as well. The team being featured in this video consists of a Shadow Scizor in the lead, very similar to the Jonkus team we featured last time, but this time we are featuring Dragalge in the place of Azumarill. This is a Pokemon that I think looks extremely cool, and actually all three of these Pokemon are probably three of the coolest looking Pokemon in the entire series, so a pretty cool team just for that fact alone. But glancing over this team, one of the glaring weaknesses, of course, would be an opposing Azumarill. Something like Shadow Mawile would also be pretty difficult to deal with. I think when team building, you definitely want to avoid a glaring weakness like that, and you're going to see how that affects some of the battles in this video when we come up against an Azumarill, for example, and we have no real answer to it. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please make sure you smash that like button, it really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comment section down below, and without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so we are taking a look at Dragalge today. I really wanted to build this Pokemon. Honestly, this has become one of my favorites just because of its appearance. I think it's one of the coolest looking Pokemon in the entire series. The IV spread, as you could see, the forward defense looks really bad, but it's actually a rank 38 overall, so this was the best one I got my hands on. I just evolved it very recently to use for this team. You can see right here a very horrible lead. We swap out into the Dragalge to catch the lunge after throwing the Night Slash at the Galvantula, so that's very nice. We get met by one of the hardest counters to Dragalge right here in the form of Wormadam Trash. Going to just spam the Aqua Tails that we could get off here and basically go down. Now, one of the benefits here is that Scizor will be able to come back in, and I guess we could farm down, but it's going to require both shields here. So the Wormadam, of course, did farm us down, so it's a little on energy here. Definitely have to respect a move here. I mean, it's a Scizor, it takes damage from just about anything. Bug Buzz would pretty much KO. Even a Bubble Beam basically hurts Scizor, so you have to respect every charge move basically. We do go down 2 shields, but I'm hoping I could farm down here before it gets to another move. And we are now loaded on energy, just about 100% of our energy right here, going for the Night Slash on the Galvantula. Does get the shield, and the opponent makes an excellent swap out into the Drapion here to catch the second move. So that's a bit unfortunate. Gonna swap out into the Umbreon though, and we're in a pretty solid position right here. Umbreon does have a decent matchup against Drapion. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's also not the worst. The opponent is going for the Aqua Tail, which tells me that they probably do not have Sludge Bomb, which makes this actually a lot better for us. But I was also thinking that the opponent's probably just looking to spam Aqua Tail here in order to allow the switch timer to come back up and then bring in their Galvantula immediately. I figured that was what they were trying to do here. And as you see, the Galvantula does come up, but they swap out while we're loaded on energy, and that is very good news for us because we're able to get to the second foul play here before the Galvantula get off a move. That means we're going to take it out. The Galvantula is basically the biggest threat at this point, because Aqua Tail, as we see, is not going to be enough to take out the Umbreon. That will allow us to get to the last resort, which is going to be able to win this game. If it does not kill, we'll immediately swap out into the Scizor to finish it off with a Bullet Punch, but we take that first game off to a 1-0 start in these sets of battles. The Mummy Dust here in match number 2. We got Shadow Scizor into a Qwilfish. So Qwilfish isn't the greatest lead to see for Scizor because you do get outpaced. And as you see, we also start off with the desynced fast move, so we're already behind in this battle. You love to see it. Gonna shield up the first Aqua Tail here, and then I'm going to throw the Night Slash. And a lot of times they do look to catch the second Night Slash, so I'm going to actually hold off on throwing because they outpace me to the move anyways. So going to shield up this move right here, and then I'm going to build past the Night Slash in case they do swap, which they do into a Pawniard, and we are running X Scizor on this Scizor. Actually, I just noticed that I put Iron Head up there. It is actually X Scizor that we're running, so I know people are going to roast me in the chat for that, but it is X Scizor, not Iron Head. I'll have to pin a comment. Night Slash comes through, and I tried committing to the farm down here. We weren't able to do it, but we will be able to survive a move here from the Pawniard, complete the farm down. Now we are loaded on energy on the Dragalge. We have 2 Aqua Tails just about ready to go. Scizor comes back in, so I'm going to throw the first one right here. We did deny the fast move from sneaking in, which is very nice, and we get to this second move. Now, after I throw this, I'm actually going to swap out immediately into the Scizor and try to outpace them to the Night Slash. I think we're about even on energy, and we actually win CMP, which is pretty crazy considering we have a 0 IV attack stat. And the thing about this is that even if they were not at the move there, or if they were at the move, I should say, it would not KO the Scizor because we are not in knockout range. We would just barely survive, get off that Night Slash on their Scizor, which would KO as you see, and then Umbreon in the back would be enough to take out the Qwilfish. Opponent doesn't want the smoke. We take that game off to a 2-0 start here in these battles. Things are looking good so far, but of course we haven't seen one of the biggest threats thus far, Azumarill, and that's part of the reason why I built this team. I wasn't seeing too many Azumarills on opponent's team, so I figured this team would probably work, but as you're going to see as the battles progress, we're going to start running into a lot of problems with this team. So Dragalge lead right here, gonna shield up the first Aqua Tail and look to get to another Night Slash right here, and we do get to it. Let's see if the opponent decides to shield this up, and they are going to shield, and I swap out into my own Dragalge now that we have gotten their second shield. This should only be an Aqua Tail. We could definitely tank that right here, and they're likely to swap out. They bring in an Alolan Ninetales, which is not good, and I'm really hoping that this is not a double charm team, because if it is, we could be in for some issues right here. Aqua Tail comes through. They're going to farm us down. Not good. We do still have a shield. Going to look to commit to the complete farm down here on the Ninetales, but of course, we will have to shield this move because like we've said before, Scizor is very, very glassy. We are able to farm down here completely though, and they're going to come back in with the Dragalge, throw this Night Slash, which will KO, and then we need to get off some damage quickly with the Scizor on that second Charmer in the back. We get the attack boost as well, which is very nice, but unfortunately for us, double charm, not really much we could do. And if you look at this team, it kind of is an ABB style if you think about it, because both the Pokemon in the back are pretty weak to charm, and then the lead Pokemon very strong against charm. The problem with building a ABB team like that is that whenever you draw out the first charm user, there's pretty much always a second charm user, so it's not really going to work if that's how you're playing. Of course, that's not the way I built this team as it is intended to be. Like, I'm not expecting to see a lot of double charm. Just so happens that it is double weak to charm in the back. But we see another Scizor lead right here. I believe in this match we actually are ahead one fast move by desync, possibly. I could be wrong here, but we get the attack boost, which is very, very nice, and we actually get to the second move, but we lose CMP here, so going to shield this up. But this is going to apply a lot of pressure on the opponent because we are going to get off this second Night Slash right here, and I don't expect they shield because we did get the boost right here, so they let it go down, and they're going to probably come in with something that could farm us down. It's actually Qwilfish, so instead of swapping out here, which might have been the correct play, I actually decided to let this go through and then come in with the Dragalge, because I figure most Qwilfish actually are not running the Ice Beam, so it's pretty safe to just maintain this alignment here. But if they have a Charmer in the back, I'm kind of screwed, right? And I would have been better off saving that Scizor. But as you can see, they actually did have Ice Beam, so a little bit unfortunate. I am going to shield here because I am loaded on energy, and I'm assuming them not swapping out means that they're pretty weak to this Dragalge in the back, and it happens to be a Nidoqueen, so these Aqua Tails are going to hurt. We're going to be able to get off 2 of them right here, and then we're going to swap out immediately into the Umbreon, hope to finish off this game. I believe it's more or less in a foul play range at this point. Of course, Nidoqueen cannot KO us with any single one move here, so Earth Power comes through. And now we're gonna have this foul play. Actually gonna look to undercharge this slightly, and that's about the best undercharge you could see because we get the extra snarl in there right now. Qwilfish comes back in. We would get to the foul play, but they're pulling the Ben Simmons, leaving the game early, and we're going to take that game. Hopping into the next battle. We got Scizor into a Shadow Mawile. So we're 3-1. This is like the most important match in most sets. You want to get that 4-1. 3-2 is still nice, but the 4-1s are where the money is really made. And that is a horrible lead to see. So I swap out into the Umbreon right here. You can see this team also pretty weak to a Shadow Mawile lead. So we get met by a Alolan Ninetales here. And I was considering if it was worth shielding here going for switch, but in the end it doesn't make sense because even if I do shield the Dazzling Gleam, still likely to lose this matchup regardless. So I decided to just let that go through. We are not going to get farmed down here because they actually do throw, which is very nice. And then we'll come in with the Scizor, hoping we can farm down before they get to another move right here, which we can. But the Mawile, of course, comes back in. We swap out into Dragalge, met by Drapion on the back. So it's actually a somewhat playable matchup here, but unfortunately for us, Dragalge isn't going to be healthy enough to take on that Shadow Mawile in the back. And this opponent actually had a pretty smart plan in play where they are just going to save their shields for the Mawile, knowing that the Scizor literally cannot do anything to it. The Drapion will just do as much chip as it can. Basically, the Mawile now is in perfect farm range, or rather the Dragalge is in perfect farm range for the Mawile, so they're going for the Power Punch. I decided to shield there because these shields are absolutely useless for Scizor. My only win con here is to basically get this thing low enough where I could farm it down with like 2 bullet punches, but it's almost impossible. I decided to no shield here because I realized the game is over at this point. There is nothing I can do. These Fire Fangs just basically melt the Scizor. We lose that game. We go 3-2 in set number 1. Not what you like to see, but I mean, it's still a positive set. Positive sets are going to rank you up at the very least, and that's at least some good news. So jumping into the second set of battles here, we got the Sewerman 210. And we are leading a Shadow Scizor into a Qwilfish. So once again, Qwilfish, a little bit of a problem for a Scizor lead, but still a lot of play for us with the backline. Both Dragalge and Umbreon have a pretty solid matchup here against Qwilfish, so we do shield up the Aqua Tail. And I'm going to build up to the Night Slash right here. Now, last time we saw Qwilfish, they did try to catch the Night Slash onto a Pokemon, so let's see if I do it again. You can see I swap out this time, catching the move instead onto the Dragalge, and that is an excellent swap for us to catch right there. Umbreon coming in here, and Umbreon not the hardest answer to Dragalge. We do have some play here. Of course, we are running Gunk Shot. Foul Play comes through, so I'm going to build up to the Gunk Shot here. They are down to their last shield, so unlikely maybe to see the shield come up here. Gunk Shot coming through, but they do shield, so that caught me a little bit off guard. I wasn't expecting a shield right there. Foul Play is going to come through, and I think they could actually farm us down here, which they may be considering since we did go for Gunk Shot. We can only reach an Aqua Tail here, so very heads up play from the opponent. And now I'm going to come in with the Umbreon here. We are up a shield, and of course they can't really do anything with their own Umbreon, so they swap out into Qwilfish instead, which I am okay with. Going to throw the Foul Play here, and I will definitely look to absorb this damage onto the Umbreon. Probably going to be a Sludge Wave coming through, which it is, does pretty hefty amount of damage, but we are able to farm down here. And if the Umbreon comes back in, we should be in a pretty good spot. Beedrill comes in instead, so I'm going to throw this Foul Play. And then kind of a tough decision here to swap out Scizor or just stay and throw another Foul Play. I figure that we won't get KO'd here by a next Scizor, so I should be able to get off this Foul Play here, and they're going to be drawing energy now. So this is perfect, but they make an excellent swap into the Umbreon's catches, but that means the Scizor now could come in, and well, I guess I'm not going to go for the farm down here because I was afraid they probably had a move ready, so I'm just going to throw the X Scizor instead immediately. Keep that shield for the Beedrill. We will get to the Night Slash. That's going to win the game. Ben Simmons doesn't want the smoke, leaves the match early like he leaves the team practices. Suspended. NBA season is back, so the references are definitely going to have to be on point going forward. We got Scizor into Dragalge right here, and again, we're seeing a lot of similar teams here. This is sort of how these theme cup metas go. A lot of Pokemon find place in the meta and then they appear everywhere. So Dragalge here, I'm telling you, this is one of my new favorite Pokemon. I absolutely love it, just the design alone, and the typing is really cool too. And look at this, a great catch from the opponent there, giving us the worst of our nightmares. It's an Azumarill. So this is what I was talking about, Azumarill, and the opponent has a shield advantage. How could we possibly win this? We literally cannot win. So I have to go for the Gunk Shot. I mean, I can't go, I have to bait and then go for the Gunk Shot. So I go for the Aqua Tail here, expecting the shield. This player is an absolute lunatic. I don't know how you could possibly no shield that, because that's literally like the win con for me if I land that Gunk Shot. The balls of steel on this opponent to no shield the Gunk Shot there is absolute insanity. Like, I do not know how they call that, but it is what it is. I have no answer for the Azumarill. I am down shields. The play rough going to come through. I'm going to shield it up because at this point I basically need this Umbreon to do as much as it can with last resort here against the Azumarill. The opponent is not shielding. And look at this catch. They swap in a Jellicent into an Umbreon to catch the last resort. So they just brought in Jellicent. They'd like flexed on us, bringing in, I don't even know what was going on at this point because this is the most dominant matchup ever for Umbreon. The opponent doesn't even have Bubble Beam. So like, they're like kind of giving us a win con, but they're also flexing on us at the same time. And then I was expecting to shield it, but they don't even shield that. So like, you know, there's being like ballsy, and then there's being like just straight up cocky. And I think this opponent was taking the cockiness to a whole nother level because now they're drawing energy. I come in with the Scizor, I farm down. I am just praying I can survive an Aqua Tail here and teach this trainer a lesson in flexing. Aqua Tail comes through, we don't survive, but we will take that draw every single day of the week. I did not deserve any part of that game. I did not deserve to win. I did not deserve to draw. We should have got destroyed. We had no answer for that Azumarill, but somehow pulled out a draw. We will take it. We will happily take it. We are 1-0-1. We got another Galvantula lead right here. So last time we threw the Night Slash, then we swapped out into the Dragalge to catch the move, but this time the opponent went for the extra fast move instead, which is a very nice play on their part. The attack, of course, drops, and now this makes the matchup against Umbreon a hell of a lot worse. And you're gonna see this Gunk Shot literally is going to be doing absolutely nothing here to the Umbreon. Like, look at that. You can't even celebrate a trash can into the face right there. So it did like what, less than 30%. It's kind of bad, but Foul Play comes through, takes us out. Come in with the Umbreon. Of course, we do have a shield advantage here, so this game is still playable. We beat a Galvantula lead in the past, so I know it's possible. Just hoping for some that we have some play against in the back. Going for the last resort right here. The Umbreon hangs on by a thread. Hate to see it take another last resort here, but it's totally fine. We do farm down, and the opponent with another Azumarill. So here are all of the Azumarills coming out of nowhere. They're just all starting to appear, and like I said before, we basically have zero play against Azumarill with this team. So I think if you play a team very, very well and you put yourself in a position to win when you shouldn't be winning, and then you lose because of one particular Pokemon in the back, it tells you that your team needs to be reworked. Like, the team is not going to work in the long run. And in this case, you could see that's exactly what happened here, because I feel like we put ourselves in a pretty good spot to win this match despite being sort of hard countered throughout. And in the end, we put ourselves with basically a win condition. We had a shield advantage. We pretty much took almost lead back. We didn't really take back lead, but we were in a good spot, and then we just lose because an Azumarill beats the entire team. So I think when team building, it's very important to be aware of those things and to make sure you account for most things, especially some of the Azumarill you're going to see very often. Of course, I made this team because I wasn't seeing it at all, but as you can see over a larger sample size, you're going to start seeing it when it's part of the meta. So Scizor into Scizor here, a mirror match. Looks like there is some sort of desync right here, but we're going to show up this first move, and I think we are behind slightly because it's not CMP, as you could see. I'm going to go for the Night Slash. At least they didn't sneak in the extra move, which is very nice. Gonna get the shield from the opponent. I'm gonna try and catch the move onto the Umbreon here because we are behind in energy at this point. So here comes the Umbreon. Opponent throws the Night Slash. Let's see it. That is definitely a win con right there. And this is a huge mistake by me. I should know they're gonna swap out here. Like, it's such an obvious play, and I throw the foul play anyways. So very poorly played on my part. We wouldn't win CMP anyway, so it's a very bad play. The opponent does bank some energy on the Scizor, so they pretty much made up for the energy we got. And they have Azumarill. So once again, another Azumarill, as you can see. So Azumarill literally popping off everywhere. All of a sudden, it's in every single game. And like I said before, we don't have much of a win con against Azumarill. So I come in with the Scizor, going to go for the Night Slash, and hoping I could farm down before they get to another move. And we are able to do it, which is actually very nice because now their Scizor comes in, we have a move ready to go. Things are looking very good. And I'm expecting this to be an Azumarill, Umbreon, Scizor core. So because of that, we have Dragalge in the back. We should be able to win this game. There is the Umbreon. Dragalge here with the shield should be in a very good spot. Should be a foul play right here. Not going to shield that. Things are looking very good. We're going to land the Gunk Shot. And as you're going to see, it's not going to KO, but it's still worthy of a little bit of a bang. There it is. And the opponent going to throw a move here. And it's a Psychic. So what the heck? A Psychic Umbreon, literally the only win con this opponent has. And maybe I got greedy there, but I felt the only win con I had was to farm down and throw the Aqua Tail at the Scizor. They get to the Psychic. Umbreon comes in, it's gonna get farmed down, or not farmed down, but Night Slashed here. So, I mean, everything's just going wrong for us. Again, I feel like we put ourselves in a great position to win the game, but again, even there, we had an Azumarill. We shouldn't be winning those games. We put ourselves in a position to win, and the opponent not only had an Azumarill, but a Psychic Umbreon. Like, what in the world? So unfortunate. Alolan Marowak in the back. We are 1, 2, and 1 at this point. We only have 1 win in 4 battles. And look at this. It's looking like a double charm team to finish off, plus a fire type in lead. Absolutely horrible. We do build up to the gunk shot here, getting the shield. Of course, they're not going to shield this second one right here, but they just need to maintain alignment here. So Aqua Tail comes through. We're going to get farmed down, and I should definitely be waiting out the switch timer full here. This is such a noob move. Can't believe I did that. Play Rough comes through. Thankfully for us, the switch timer will fully reset by the time the Marowak comes back in, so this is nice. Gonna throw the Night Slash here. I need the opponent to shield this so bad. They do not. And I come in with the Umbreon, and right here, I'm in a really weird spot because I know my only win con is basically to get to 2 Night Slashes on the Scizor, so I need farm on this Sylveon, but I also need to keep my shield. So when I get to last resort here, I figure I should probably not throw the energy because I need to leave this Sylveon with enough health to actually farm down completely and potentially get to 2 Night Slashes. So the Moonblast comes through. Gonna complete the farm down here. We're just a little bit short of the second Night Slash. I believe this Marowak is actually a Night Slash range, so if we could get to the second, we'll actually pull off the miracle win here against a triple hard counter. Not able to do it. Very unfortunate. 1, 3, and 1 in that set. Not very good. So those were the battles in the Halloween Cup featuring Dragalge. Just built this Pokemon, and as you could see, we had a 3-2 in the first set, and the second set was pretty rough. We went 1 win in 5 battles. We had a draw in there as well that we probably should have lost, to be honest, but we faced a bunch of hard counters as you saw in that second set, and even the matches where we put ourselves in a good position, we ended up losing because of poor team building on our part, being extremely weak to Azumarill, ended up costing us a lot of games. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.